Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new up in this place, my name is Ntwanie Ngomane, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again today, right? So thank you so much for the love that I've seen in my last video, which was about love and the CA journey and how tricky it can get to navigate that. Well, today I've decided to do a video around first year training. Quite a couple of people have said, hey, we're starting our training this year, what can we expect, what should we do, what should we not do, what should we be aware of, right? So today I've decided to address that in this video. I am going to talk about 5 things that you should do and 5 things that you shouldn't do. So 5 do's, 5 don'ts. I'm gonna start with the don't so that we can end the video on a good note, right? Don't number 1, do not mix business with pleasure. I've heard it all the time. People found the love of their lives at work and in their teams and whatnot. Personally, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't mind you dating someone in the office if you're not on the same team. Just make sure you're not in a relationship with somebody on the same team, because when you guys fight in private, it's gonna come and it's gonna show in the work relation, you know what I mean? So do not ever mix business with pleasure, especially if it's somebody you are on a client with. Don't number 2, do not throw your team under the bus, guys, or red out people. I know we are people. As much as we're required to be professionals, we are people first, and sometimes there are mistakes that we do. Don't red out your team, guys. It's not good. It doesn't look professional, because the next thing is your teammates are going to work with other people and they're going to tell other people how much of a red out you are, which, you know, is not good. Because at every client that you go to after that, people will always be conscious of you. People will always behave weirdly around you because now they don't want to be rated out. So just keep your cool, watch it happen, you know. Yeah. Number 3, don't expect to be hand fed. Now I think you've already learned this from university. No one is gonna hand feed you information. Nobody's gonna hand teach you stuff. So you need to be proactive. If even from a perspective of a 3rd year, you know, if my 1st year says, hey, there's something I don't understand, at most times I refer them to where the material is so they go read for themselves. So don't expect us to come with all the answers. You also need to know where you can get the answers. Maybe we can tell you where to get the answers, but then you need to go and read up on that. So it's going to be your responsibility to learn. It's going to be your responsibility to be accountable. You know, we're not going to come with you with information like every time. Sometimes we're just going to refer you to the ISA, go read ISA, whatever. Sometimes we're going to refer you to the IFRS. Sometimes we're going to refer you to whatever audit guide that we use for you to go and read for yourself. So don't expect the team, your 2nd years or your 3rd years, to come and hand feed you information. Number 4, do not overextend yourself. This is one I struggled with. Do not overextend yourself, guys. If there is an amount of work that needs to be done and the manager says, hey, do you mind doing this thing for me, and you realize that you have a lot on your plate, please say so. Say, you know what, I have this and this and this and this to do before I can get to that, so I might not be able to. Just don't say, yeah, I'll do it, you know, while you know that your plate is already full. It's okay to say no, because at the end of the day, you will be rated based on the quality of your work and not necessarily the amount of the work that you did, right? So rather focus on having smaller sections of the work and do it with high quality than having a lot of work and just messing up the whole file. Don't overextend yourself, because this will result in you working unpaid overtime, firstly, and secondly, it will take a toll on your mental health. And then the other consequence of this is that managers now have an expectation of you that whenever there's extra work, Ntwana is always available. Even when you're not available, because you've overextended yourself, you have created that expectation. Beware of this. The 5th don't is don't compromise your study leave or any other leave. It's okay if you want to book leave, but you're on a client and the manager says, no, you can't take leave at this time. That's fine. But if you've already booked leave, right, and then the manager say, hey, actually there's this and that I need you to do on these days, and you realize you have leave on these days, you have the right to say, actually I will be on leave on this day and I cannot cancel, because you booked that leave for a reason. You booked that leave for a self-care day or mental health care day for you to take care of you. You know what I mean? I think the most important though is study leave. Some managers, guys, will make you reverse study leave for audit work. Do not do, I repeat, do not fall for that. Never ever reverse your study leave for work, because at the end of the day you will bear the consequences of not passing that exam. You will bear the consequences of not getting a raise because you didn't pass that exam. Remember, your manager has passed all the exams, right? So it's not on them. It's not their responsibility to put on boundaries to protect that time. So you need to say, you know what, I will be on study leave. I need to focus on my studies so I can get this exam out of the way, because at the end of the day you will not be a CA without that exam. So your studying comes first, guys. Do not reverse your leave for audit work. I hope you got that. Moving on to the do's, right? So we're ending this video on a high note. Do number 1, do ask stupid questions now. I know there's nothing such as stupid questions, but by stupid questions I mean those small things that you feel like are really irrelevant. Things like so how do I filter on Excel, or things like so how do I do a pivot. Things, you know, those tiny little things, ask them now. Why? Because when you're in first year, we expect you to not know these things. In first year, actually the first 6 months of first year is like, we do not expect you to know anything. So start asking the stupid questions now. Ask, how do I do a pivot? Ask, how do I filter? How do I create an additional sheet? How do I merge? How, you know, those stupid questions, ask them now, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're a second year or you are a third year and you're asking a manager, so how do I do a pivot? That's gonna look like, what have you been doing in first year? You know, so you want to get all of that out of the way, so when you're in third year you now know these things, because when you're in third year there will now really be stupid questions. You cannot be asking a manager, how do I do a pivot in third year. Second, do keep a track of the evidence and email trails. Guys, hey, I cannot stress how important it is to have backup. Girl, open files, like open files. Leave a trail for an email. If you discuss something over the phone with a client, with a team member, with a manager, with a partner, with a specialist, put it down on email. As per our phone call, we have decided that like, keep trail, guys. There is this saying in order that we like to say that if it is not documented, it is not done. This applies. If you discuss something with someone over the phone, they can easily say, actually, I never said this thing, because you don't have evidence. But if you follow up with an email and say, hi Ntwanie, as per our discussion on the phone, we agreed that then that person has that trail. You also have that trail to back yourself up. Keep evidence, keep files. You never know when you're gonna need it. Third, do socialize. Okay, it's a bit difficult now because of COVID-19 and everyone is working from home. We working from home, so it's a little bit difficult to socialize, especially with people in second year and third year. With the first year is a bit better because you have like first year groups, chats and whatnot. But do socialize, guys. The people that you are working with in that team are your future business partners. They are your future CEOs. They are your future CFOs. They are future entrepreneurs. These people could open doors for you. Okay, so socialize, make yourself known, obviously for good things. You know, my counseling partner always says that you'd be surprised at how many people from KPMG that you're going to contact 20-25 years from now, because you know them from your articles, right? So socialize, build good working relationships, network with your team, outside your team, your managers, your partners. Do that. It's gonna be beneficial for you in the long run. The fourth do is to keep track of your competencies. If you do not hear anything in this video, hear this: keep track of your competencies. Guys, you are not going to qualify as a CA without your competencies, okay? And I fell into that trap in first year. Was like, I'm still in first year, there's not much I'm doing. Is this even a competency? Can I even claim this? Yes, you can. That is why first year is part of the whole training. It's part of the 3 years, right? So the thing is, often we don't know that what we do in this section of the work is a competency. What I would suggest to you is that Psycha has a generic training guide that says, for this competency, an example of the work you could have done is this, right? So go on to that. If you have to read that thing every week, guys, read that thing every week. I think a good system is to, at the end of every week, maybe on a Friday, after you knock off work, take an hour and reflect at, what did I do this week in my audit work, and what of those things is a competency that I can claim. Because I promise you, when you get to third year, your competencies become important, because now you have less than a year to try and do stuff. And it gets a bit more difficult in third year, because there are sections that me as a third year don't necessarily do on an audit. So if I didn't claim that competency while I was in first year or in second year, I now struggle in third year to get that competencies, because it needs to be given to the first year and the second year. So don't play yourself. Keep track of your competencies every week. Update your SR, write it down. I did this, I did that, compare it to the training guide and claim those competencies. Okay, last do is to take responsibility. Guys, you're not students anymore, you are young professionals now. You need to take responsibility for your work. You need to take responsibility for your mistakes. You will do a lot of mistakes in audit, mistakes with clients, mistakes with a partner, mistakes with the manager, with the team. You will make mistakes, and it's part of the process. It's part of learning, because otherwise, how do you learn if you're not making mistakes, right? If you're not making mistakes, that means you're not doing anything new. So you need to take responsibility. Say, yeah, I kind of messed up here. How can I fix it? Or I don't really know what's going on here. What should I do? You know, ask those questions. It shows that yes, you don't know, but you're willing to learn. You're willing to put yourself out there to be corrected. And that is a trait that you need as a CA, because after this, you're going to be leading a group of people, and you will make mistakes as a leader, but you need to go back and say, I've kind of messed up. How do we fix this together as a team? So those are my 5 do's and my 5 don'ts for first year trainees. It's not very specific to first year trainees. If you're in second year, it can still apply to you as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, I think that's it from me today. I will see you guys in my next video. Please do subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I will see you in the next one. Bye.